Thanks for staying with us. So, he is the executive producer of the first African industrial TV reality show, Firo House, a passionate leader, a pastor, coach, farmer, security expert, realtor, philanthropist, and more. Our guest is a seasoned entrepreneur with over 2 decades of experience in real estate, marketing, strategic planning, and human resources. A member of several professional bodies home and abroad, and a recipient of several awards of excellence in diverse fields. Dr. Lanre Shonekon is SPY and Chief Superintendent of Police and GMD CEO Lashon, or is it Lashone?
Lashon Group.
And a conglomerate of 9 subsidiaries. And it's such a pleasure to have you with us, Dr. Shonekon. Is it Lashon or Lashone?
Lashon.
I don't know who has all those accolades.
In fact, plenty of them we had to step down. All right, so they all belong to you. We are most grateful to you. With the hindsight that you just have a few hours in Nigeria where you had to return to the UK to meet your family and to spend the holidays. But you still found time to be with us here on the show. Thank you. Thank you.
So, Dr. Shonekon, before you rush off to the airport to catch your flight, I have a few questions for you. Kindly oblige us. So, Dr. Shonekon, I'd like to know on a personal level.
Yeah.
Now, how did you get into all of this? No, just tell us that.
Well, you know, I believe that there's always a desire. There's a desire, and sometimes the need for the challenge. You know, challenges comes, and then the pursuit of opportunities. Then I also say loving to do. I mean, whatever you like doing. You know. So these things are put together. I finished university in 96, 97, and I've worked also for about 13 years, you know, in managerial positions, up to executive director of various companies, I think 4 or 5 companies. I work in the telecom sectors. You know, all that you see I've done. I work in the media communication outfit. I've worked in real estate. I've worked in all these forms.
So you're a full package.
Yeah, I'm a full package. But let me tell you, what really drives me to this is out of what people call a negative aspiration. My last place of work, I rose to the second in command. I was the executive director. In fact, I established most of the various organograms of that particular industry. It's a real estate firm. And my boss wanted to go into politics and was planning that I'm going to take over that company. But to my surprise. I got a sack letter. Your service is no longer needed. And that was one of my first I'll take it as my drive, because it's to the negative. It seems as a disappointment, and it seems as if everything, because I've learned to work for people, I've learned to earn salary. In fact, I was living in the company's apartment. The car I'm driving is the company, so and I was stripped off. So it was like an eye opener. For the 13 years I've worked, I have nothing to show for it, and I'd walked to that position, and so that dawned on me, and I had to retreat with the grace of God and with the inner build. You see, all the things I've learned, and I just said, I can. And I started with nothing. I started with nothing. I just look inward, and I said, there are some qualities, there are some things that I've been able, skills and all that I've developed over the years. There are a lot of implementations I've wanted to do, that you have a boss that said, no, it won't work. So it's an opportunity for me to express myself, you know, and break the best in me. And I can tell you, I look at problems. When I see a problem, I get the solution to the problem and I monetize it. And I think that's what business is all about.
Wow,
yes.
What a way to
you know, you just started at a place where I believe a lot of people are right now. you know, there's a sack letter, or there's a landlord chasing you out of the house, or there's some negative things happening, and you're like, this is the end of the world for me. But then it isn't. You know, it's like a place for you to start. Just withdraw and see all of the things that has been deposited inside of you by God, and then pursue. Now, can you shed some more light on the unique thrills, you know, and the challenges that Nigerian entrepreneurs encounter compared to their counterparts, you know, in the other part of the world?
Thank you. Like, I'm going to use my company as a case study. I'm into real estate, I'm into communication, I'm a farmer, I have a farm, I'm into processing, I'm into HR, because I recruit for people,
security.
I run a business firm, a business school, and I'm into the security business. So you can see, but these are all problems solving institutions. So look at the problem and create the solution, you see. So the thriving environment, there are so many factors that you have to consider over here. You know, I'm also running my business outside the country. I think the governments of recent are trying to do a lot. I'll give it to them, but then I think we are still backward in so many activities. For example, let's just use some of the country. I'm not using UK as a status. There are a lot of grants. There are a lot of support that most people that comes up with good innovations. We have the type of the small scale. We have the some industries. Some agencies the government has also created, like the SMEDAN and all that. But in assessing the fund, in helping these entrepreneurs who are coming up to really get started, it requires a lot. You look at the environment, there's so many factors that mitigate against them getting there. A lot of infrastructures are not in place. A company that will require electricity, I don't know how you want him to survive when he's going to have a lot of alternative source of energy. And that is already a cost built in. In an environment where you have a lot of concerns with security and challenges, all these are factors. Like, for example, I'm a farmer, and I have to move to the exterior to farm, and there I'm not sure of my safety. And then you have also the other set of people that come in to take your loot. I don't want to call them the Fulanis or whatever, but they're there. They bring their cows and eat up everything you have, you know. And so there are a lot of concerns, you know. In the real estate, we have a lot of policies, government policies, and, you know, from documentation to documentation to development, and then to the cost of, you know, constructions and all that. There'll be a lot of factors, especially when we have our foreign exchange having fluctuating and all that. Everything depends. I don't know whether we're still, because I did the first African industrial TV reality show, and the essence is to look at our industries and raise more of these industrialists, you know, to come on board, because I think we lack those areas whereby, because most of this industry depend on energy. They depend on, there's so much costs requirement in terms of inputs and their outputs. So at the end of the day, they can balance. There's a lot of diagonal graph which will show that they're not breaking even, you know, and many of them are shutting down. I see a lot of this.
Actually, I mean, a lot of what you just talked about are the uncontrollables. You know, now I want us to focus a bit on those controllable, you know, factors. Like, I mean, you're an experienced entrepreneur, and I want you to tell us how to navigate around regulatory hurdles, bureaucratic bottlenecks and challenges, you know, in a country like this.
And mindset, individual mindset.
Definitely. You see, if you set out, you should allow your passion, your goal to be your focus. The government comes up with a lot of regulatory policies and whatever. But you should also look into it. You need to have an understanding, an in-depth understanding of what the government is trying to do. Yeah. Sometimes they come up with this not just only because they feel that they need to put some things in place. Yeah. The government say file in your tax as at when due, register your company. It tells you that get a documentation for whatever you're doing, maybe title document for your lands and all that. Tells you. So you need to work towards this.
Okay, we'll work towards it, but we'll take a first break, a short break rather, and we'll come back.
Okay. All right, we're back, and it's still today with John and Helen live from Plus TV Africa, and our first guest, Dr. Lanre Shonekan, GMD, CEO, Lashon Group, is still here with us. Now, moving on, how do you view the role of mentorship and networking in fostering entrepreneurial success in Nigeria? You run a school. Yeah. You mentor a lot of people. Definitely. Give us an overview.
Well, the role of mentorship for me, or for entrepreneur success, is paramount. It's really paramount. It's a multifaceted relationship, and that empowers entrepreneurs to overcome challenges. It helps them to make informed decisions, chart a path towards their goals with confidence. Because the mistakes that you've made, it's a lesson, and that's what you're going to pass to them as part of their own precept. They won't do that. And mentorship, you see, I love the other eastern part. You see, when a man opens a shop, like he carries his brother there, well, apprenticeship they call it, but then you see, you can help somebody to start. Like what I'm doing right now for, I run this in the school, we have 4 different departments, like the skill acquisition right now, we just finished, we have 200 students. And you see, apart from training them on the skills and helping them to get in field, we've done over 500. So we have a mentorship program. And that is where you attach them to a particular idol who is in that field, who they can mirror, who had done very well, and it makes it very easy for them. They assess a lot of, they use the networking, gets people to get into their product. It helps them to get confidence. Sometimes starting out could be very static. So it gives them that confidence, it builds the confidence in them. It helps them to make good decisions, because business is about decision making. The wrong one will really bring it off. So I think.
So what you're saying is mentorship is so key.
It's one of the major factors. And
it's not just about teaching someone. No. It's about taking them from point A to point Z.
Definitely.
Make sure that you have given them something to start.
Definitely.
Okay.
That's interesting. Yes. Quite interesting, Doctor.
Yeah.
Now, most times when we talk about our dear country, we look at the negatives. Now, I would want us to, let's even look at the positive side. Nigeria, for instance, is often described as land of immense opportunities, and that is true. I mean, from your perspective, what are some of the promising sectors for aspiring entrepreneurs, like you say?
Where should they go into?
Yeah, well, to me, I will use the things I do, and I've seen them as where I am right now, the industries I'm functioning, I see them as great opportunity, which some of them have not been enhanced.
So you're everywhere, Doctor.
Farming, agriculture is a key thing. We import most of our raw materials, and a lot of industries depends on this. Food is key. You can't never. In fact, you see third world countries, or many nations today, they're already preparing for food security, population increase and all that. How do we mitigate that? It's a great field that people need to look at. Initially, those days, we see farmers as those maybe peasant families just doing. No, it's beyond that now. Right? When I came in now, I set up a community agri system, whereby the youth they are engaged. You see, this creates also employment. It's a sector that I think the government also to look into. most of the poultry farmers are crying right now because I run poultry. There's no feed because most of the feed, they need just maize. We have fertile land, we have all that. And to set in is so easy. So it's one of the industry that somebody can just go in and start up. You know, you start, and then we give mentorship. We run a school of agric also to just help them to start, and we give them lands to start. That's the scheme I'm doing right now. I called the whole community. I said, look, most of these lands, don't sell to me. I have already about hectares of land there. Some of our youths who are not engaged, let's bring them together. We'll give them the seed. We'll help them plow and prepare the land, produce, help them for the land clearing, plowing, harrowing, prepare it for planting. Then give them seeds of what to plant. They nurture and do everything with us and all that. When it matures, we will buy it from them.
Awesome.
See, and that is, you've created a whole system. And then this we can take for processing and even for exportation. So it's a value chain that you can look at. The real estate also.
Operation Feed the
is
Nation.
another one.
Operation Feed
So
the
they
Nation.
can look at everything I'm doing right now. I see it as a great opportunity. We need, a lot of people need, you see, the business school I run basically is to help in those areas, the things I have done, to be able to impact. I run the School of Real Estate, School of Agric. I have executive entrepreneurship management training, and also the skill acquisition. So these are very narrowed areas. People can go in and you get better.
We're being told that we have barely 5 minutes. Given your extensive experience, now how do you approach risk management? We must look at that. And resilience in the face of economic uncertainties and market fluctuations. You talked about it earlier, but how do entrepreneurs mitigate, this?
Well, basically, you need to know your earnings. When it starts from, many of us don't have a business plan that gives us, the projections, financials. That is one. You should be able to, cash flow is a very key thing in running any business, because that is what it's right. So you must be able to look at, okay, the funds required, the funds needed, and you should be able to have it. Where is it coming from and all that? You should be able to impute, a process for your business. You see, sometimes you may need to bring in experts. You need to borrow ideas. You need to inject personnels. You see, the structure also is very key in every business.
Okay.
Those who manage for you and those who are in charge. Yeah. Those are the things that really affect business. I'm not in the country and my business is running. So in terms of looking at some of those concerns, like I remember sometime in 2016 when we had the economic downturn, and there was a lot of challenges all over the world. I run an investment club, which really, and there are some factors that sometimes you can't control because when it comes general, but then you can manage it. You can manage it.
And indeed,
it's like you should always be on your toes. You must be ready.
Yes. And indeed, you need a lot of creativity to be able to do that.
That is just the key.
Because entrepreneurship often requires a blend of innovation, adaptation.
Innovations, definitely.
So, do you have any examples you want to share?
Yeah. Well, to me, that's why you see, I say I'm running my business. It's out of innovations, because you see new things. If you don't remain static, things change. Even everything we do, we'll see a recycle. We'll see things moving. So you must move with the trend, and that comes when you sit back and look at, oh, this is where I am, this is what I'm doing. And then you come up with, like, for example, in some of the businesses, I've created a lot of models. For example, I created a scheme for rent to own in housing. So whereby you don't pay for the house, we build the house, and then you move into the house and you're renting the house and you're paying, it becomes yours. You see, innovation is all about creativity, bringing the best of what you have and making it very appealing and allowing people, to come into it. That creates a lot of business opportunities where you can go beyond the norms, beyond what every other person is doing, look in depth and see, what you can do more. And that gives you I can tell you in all my business, my security firm, a lot of innovations that have come in, you know, different from what is on ground.
Yeah.
So you look at everything you're doing right now, you have competitors, you have a lot of people doing the same thing. So look inward. What do you want to do different from what there's? What values are you adding? What creativity? What mindset? What are the things? So I think that has helped me a lot because it's acceptable to my clients, and more people are coming on board. They just see something different from what is not there, and that's just the way an entrepreneur needs to think.
Exactly.
You come up with creativity, you know, things that will make impact. You see, I've mentioned it.
Yeah, you said it at the beginning.
Yes.
Find the problem.
Look at the problem
and
get
bring
the
the solution. So
and
there's
monetize
so
it.
many new problems on a daily basis. So
yeah.
you must be able to
Just keep thinking
see
of
them
it.
and work on them.
People cannot afford more, the funds. They might not have the bulk funds,
Yes.
but you're making it easier for them.
Okay.
I created an investment to come a cooperative. I run a cooperative.
Doctor, if we let Doctor
who do little payments.
You know
Yes.
what? You know what?
on the last note,
Yes.
Doctor.
I was going to ask you. Do you get time to sleep?
That's
On
just
the
the
last
point.
note, Doctor, what words of wisdom or advice would you offer to aspiring entrepreneurs who are just starting their journey in this country and at a time like this?
In
In 1 minute, please.
All right then. Well, I would say that pursue your goals. Be passionate about what you're doing. Love it when you enjoy it. And be very creative. You see, don't allow money to come first. When you have the idea, think through. The idea produce the money. And
Partnerships?
Various things. That's why I say just think through.
Okay.
Sometimes you might just need just a leap. It's not, everything is not about money. And I told you I started the real estate without money. So all I have, I looked inward and I started as a salesperson. Somebody had the money. I had a doctor friend who said, I want to buy 12 acres. And that was what set me up. I just collected it. So think through whatever you have, you want to do. There is always a solution. There is always what you can do. And it's not about, be very thorough. Be easy, be focused. Be focused. Don't allow, and do that.
And don't dwell on the negatives and the problems. Don't.
And that was a master class for free.
Of course, definitely.
So thank you so much, Dr.
Dr.
Shineko, for coming. Please. We shall, keep reaping from this wealth of experience that you've shared with us. And we want to wish you a safe trip back to UK. And we hope you'll be back home.
I will be back, and I'll definitely come around again.
All right, and as practical as it could be with Doctor anytime. I can't wait to watch this conversation again, when I'm focused and not distracted, so I can get everything that you have put into this conversation today. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Privilege to be here.
Our conversation on entrepreneurship there with Dr. Larry Shuneko, Group GMD and CEO, Lashon Group of Companies. Next is a break to allow us make room for our next guest, Lawrence Mba. Stay with us.